Hey guys, Extra here. Welcome back to the channel, and we are back on CarX Street again today. Obviously, we just had the Xbox launch and it has been awesome for the game. The player numbers have skyrocketed, and that's just on the Steam charts. We've got no idea how many more people there are playing on Xbox, but the lobbies are full. The game is super populated. And although there is some controversy surrounding this update, for the most part, it's good. And I don't want to get into the negative crap anyway, because it's just going to turn into a 20-minute long rant video. And that's not what this is. This is actually just a quick beginner tips and tricks, because I've noticed a lot of people asking a lot of questions in Discords, in my comment section. People asking for certain tips and tricks around builds, making money, all kinds of real simple stuff like that. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video and get into these tips that really help you guys out. Let's not dilly-dally around. Let's go. So you've probably noticed by now, if you've played the game at all, that there is fuel. And when you run out, you're going to come to this gas station and see stock and sport fuel. And the sport fuel is way more expensive. So when I first started playing this game with my mates, we just use the stock fuel because the sport fuel is super expensive and it doesn't tell you anywhere here what it does. And we just assumed it did nothing important and we didn't use it. And I went through my entire campaign and club career not using it, and that was a huge mistake. So when you install this sport fuel in the car, it actually increases your torque and your rev limiter, which makes the car way, way, way faster. And it doesn't actually affect your class rating. So you're basically getting performance here for free, which is huge in these clubs that are class limited, because you can't add any more upgrades. But if you're using stock fuel, you've got free power here that honestly makes such a big difference that you can probably go up to another difficulty level. So if you're on medium, you can probably bump the game up to hard. And that is the equivalent amount of speed you're getting from going up in this fuel tier. So it's actually more valuable than putting parts and stuff in your car, because it's essentially free power that's invisible to the class rating system. So as soon as you have the currency, and especially if you have a car that you're using for an entire club, put the sport fuel in, because one big tank of fuel will probably last you the entire club. So there is no drawback to putting sport. You'll get your money back straight away. Like as soon as you win one or two races, it pays for itself. So go ahead and use the sport fuel. All right, so now that you've got the sport fuel in the car, the next trick I want to show you guys is actually in the tuning shop over here. So this has been happening for a long time, but now more prevalent, that there's more new people coming to the game and coming back to the game as well that are following my tuning guides. I've seen this comment a lot, and I see it a lot in Discord, and people wondering how people on the time attack leaderboards and how people in these tuning guides get their cars to be as light as they are. It's not like it's some secret. I just don't think it's been published somewhere that's gotten enough attention to make it common knowledge. There's actually a little glitch you can do with the body swaps and the weight reduction to reduce the weight lower than what you would be able to do if you didn't do this glitch. And it's super, super simple. So I'll show you how to do it now. So let's say we've got this car, you've just bought it, you're building it, and you want to do the weight reduction. So if we were to go through and do it like this, you install all the parts first. So we've got stock weight reduction. We go through, we do the body swap. Let's put the weight reduction kit on. We turn this down and look, we get to 1,237 kilos. That's not the lowest weight we can get this car. So obviously this trick also works with the prototype parts, but we don't have that for this car right now. If we go back to the stock body swap and then only have the weight reduction part on, so the ultimate weight reduction, tune the weight reduction part all the way down first and then do the body swap, you'll notice we are now at 1,217 kilos. So we've saved 20 kilos, which 20 kilos doesn't sound huge. But, when you're looking at these time attack cars that are 1,000 kilos, 900 kilos, 800 kilos even, sometimes even lighter, 20 kilos is huge. And some cars, the difference with this trick is even more dramatic, by the way, especially if you have the prototype weight reduction. You might save 30, 40, 50 kilos even by doing this trick, which is huge. It's huge. So if you're not doing this and you're competing on leaderboards, you're at a massive, massive disadvantage. So you definitely want to be doing this where possible. It's just free weight reduction. It's been in the game forever. No one's ever been punished for it. I don't know why they haven't fixed it. And even if they do fix it, I assume that they'll just make it so the cars can be tuned as low as they would as if the weight reduction glitch was used, right? I don't think they're going to limit it so that you can't make the cars lighter. I think they'll do the opposite, where you'll be able to just tune the car down as if you did this weight glitch. So I don't think there's any repercussions to doing it. So just do it. You're leaving weight reduction on the table if you don't. And, you know, here, mystery solved. Here's how you do it. Nobody's cheating. It's just a simple little glitch. And then whilst we're in this body section, actually, I want to share with you another quick tip. When you're competing in time attacks and stuff in this game, or even just driving around doing toge, drift cars, the center of gravity makes a massive, 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 massive difference. In time attacks, it's more glaringly obvious because there's lots of shortcuts and stuff that you have to take to compete on the leaderboards competitively, especially if you want really good times. You're going to have to be jumping over gutters, cutting curbs, going across grass, doing jumps, hitting barriers, smashing through fences, you name it. You get like the lines are ridiculous that you have to follow in order to get, you know, a top 10 time in these on these leaderboards. And the cars roll over a lot. They are very, very prone to flipping, especially if you don't have a wide body kit on. They flip over really easily. And the reason for this is that a few updates ago in a balance patch, they made it so all cars have a higher center of gravity. And the way that you can combat this, the easiest way, is just putting on the ultimate fuel tank. And yes, so the ultimate fuel tank is heavy. On this car, it's 37 kilos. But look at what it does to the center of gravity. And if you don't know where, you can see that. It's actually on the top where all the statistics are for the car. That little picture on the right, it has the 3 numbers on it. The 2 numbers that are on the front and the back of that car are the weight distribution, and the middle one is the center of gravity. And so with the stock fuel tank, we're at a 25.5 center of gravity, and putting the ultimate one, it brings it down to a 25.1. That's a big, big difference. And not only does it stop the car from flipping, having the lower center of gravity actually improves handling across the board for the car. So unless you're specifically trying to do a build that is as lightweight as possible, more often than not, having the extra weight and going with the big fuel tank provides more of a benefit than if you went with the super lightweight option. So, you know, if you are experiencing this issue where the car's flipping, the fuel tank is often overlooked. All right, I've gone ahead and set my weight back to be the top of C4 class because there's one more trick I actually want to show you in the tuning shop before we back out of here, and that's within the engine. So obviously this game does have a class rating system. Most of my cars are tuned to C4, and you know you'll be when you're competing in the clubs, they're all limited by class. The leaderboards are all limited by class, and the way this class system works means that if you understand it, you'll be able to gain a massive, massive, massive advantage in performance. Well, not massive, but when you're talking, you know, hundreds and thousands of seconds on leaderboards and things like that, it's massive when it's in that relative space. So the way the class system works, it works on your power to weight ratio. So, and the way it does that is only off of your peak power figure. So this Supra makes 378 peak horsepower. So that is the number that the car uses for the power to weight ratio to set the class rating. So there are some upgrades that are going to affect this class rating more than others. For example, let's say we go ahead and put camshafts on, which is a pretty logical upgrade to make, right? If we go ahead in here, that unlocks our torque at high Newton meter adjustment, this slider here. And when we slide this up, look at how much we are gaining 12 torque at high, getting all the way up to 433 horsepower, which is bumping our class rating by 12. But if you have a look at that graph on the right, look where we're gaining power. It's just at the very, very peak. So we're not gaining power anywhere else, just at the very top of the rev range. If instead we went to the turbine pressure slider and pushed this all the way up, we're at 427 horsepower. But look what it's done to that graph on the left. This being maxed out, not only is our class rating not as high because we don't have as much peak power, we're actually generating power across the entire rev range. So I might have an extra 10 horsepower at 5,000 RPM compared to someone who only had the camshafts tuned all the way up. Where I make less power, I make less peak power and have a lower class car, technically speaking. And this can be abused to an even higher extent. Let's say you didn't put camshafts in at all, and instead of that, you went and did engine block and cylinder head. Engine block and cylinder head, you unlock torque at low and torque at medium. Now have a look at this. I've tuned both of those sliders to max. I'm gaining plus 27 torque at low and plus 33 torque at medium, and my class rating went up by 1 point. So you can see how all of these things working together, you can gain a lot more power across your entire rev range as opposed to someone who maybe just went and turned the camshafts all the way up. And they're making, you know, the same peak power as you, top UBC 4 class rated 299. You guys are making the same power because you both have maximum weight reduction on. But for you to get there, you've done engine block, cylinder head, and an ECU upgrade to turn your boost up, and they've just done camshafts. So you might have 30 or 40 more horsepower at 3,000 RPM, 4,000 RPM. So your car's going to be way, way faster. That's something to really, really think about that a lot of people really miss, because, you know, the camshafts is, if you are into cars at all, obviously the camshaft sounds like a great upgrade, but, you know, this game has a class system and the entire competitive side of this game is based around this class system. So understanding how to manipulate it to get the most out of your limitations is going to net you the best results. All right, next tip. I noticed people asking in my MX-5 drift build that I just posted how I got the side skirts on the car with the wide body kit that I chose. Because when you put that wide body kit on, you normally can't install those side skirts. And it's actually a very, very simple trick. And I'm going to show you how to do it right now because I actually have it on this Supra also. So this wing, if you have this missile kit on, you normally cannot install this wing. So what I'll go ahead and do is I will change my body kit and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if we go here and buy this body kit in without the wing and we go down to the spoiler options, you will see that that wing I had on the car is no longer here. All right, so what we have to do, it's a very, very simple process if you just follow along here. So that wing is under this Street X body kit. You can see it right there. Now, of course, it's not on the other body kit that I wanted. So what we're going to have to do, add this body kit to the cart. So just hit A or X, whichever platform it is that you're on, whatever controller or however you do it on keyboard. Add that to cart. Don't buy it just yet. So now what you're going to want to do, scroll down to your spoiler options or whichever it is that you want, whichever part it is that you want that body kit doesn't have. So for that MX-5, for example, it was the side skirts. Then what you're going to want to do is open the cart. So hit X or square. And whilst you're still in that spoiler or side skirt menu or whatever it is, clear the cart and then back out. And then you will notice that the options from the body kit that you just had in your cart are still here and available to install. And you can go ahead and pop that on and then go into the cart and check out. And then when you leave, the part's on. And that's how you do that glitch. Super simple. You can do this with so many different parts and make some really creative builds. I know stuff like the S15, a lot of side skirts are blocked. Obviously the MX-5 has this blocked side skirts. Stuff like this, the wing, the RX-7 has some crazy shit you can do. There's a big glass like hearse trunk that you can put on one of the body kits. Really the possibilities are endless and you can get super creative with this. So just go ham, go crazy. And then just to wrap this video up, guys, I'm just going to leave you all with one last tip. and it's going to be around making currency. Obviously, there's lots of new players to the come into the game, and they want to build cars and they want to have fun, being able to customize and do what they want and just tandem and drive around with their mates. And ironically, that's actually the best way to make money in this game. So because you're at low level, the level cap in this game is 150. If you're starting out from level 1, every single time you level up, you get a currency bonus. You get credits and you get street coins, and you get a lot of them. So leveling up is actually the best money maker in this entire game. Like, obviously beating all the clubs and stuff, you're going to get heaps of money as well. But you don't have to worry about any of that. You can just get enough money to build a car, go online, get in a lobby, start tandeming with people. When you're tandeming, your points bonus goes up crazy fast. And then all those points turn into XP, and all that XP turns into levels. So you just build one car, go into an online lobby, start tandeming with all your friends, and then time goes past so quick, you will end up pressing pause or checking the map, you know, an hour later into your session or 30 minutes or whatever, and you're going to get inundated with level up rewards. Maybe you've gone up 5, 10, 20 levels, whatever it is, and you're just going to start stacking cash. So really take advantage of that whilst you're at a low level, and use that to build some cars to start competing in more clubs, some more time attacks. Obviously, the higher class clubs give more rewards. But early on, really take advantage of how fast you can level up and how easy it is, because you can just gain money without having to do anything at all. That also being said, just tandeming around gives you money in itself, just drifting around and tandeming. So really, really take advantage of it. So those are my quick little beginner tips. Hope you guys can get... hope it helps you guys a little bit to get started in this game. It's really, really is a good game. It's a shame that there are some black marks surrounding this update, but if you're on Xbox, it doesn't affect you anyway, so I'm not going to get into it. And yeah, fingers crossed that it all gets sorted out and everything's back to business as usual. If there's any tips I missed, let me know down in the comments. If there's anything else you want to know, also hit me up in the comments. I'm probably going to keep releasing content. Once the time attacks are back, I'll run through some builds and things for the time attacks as well. I'll keep hitting you guys with some drift builds, some more cheap ones. Obviously, I know the 180 is one of the new starter cars for the Xbox release. So I might release a guide on how to tune that thing for drifting as well. But all in all, hope you guys are enjoying this game. I'm enjoying how full the lobbies are and how good the tandems are. So yeah, go have fun. Take these tips, use them, and have a fantastic day.